Ladies and gents, welcome back. Independent news is an important function in a democracy. The governed cannot give their consent without being informed of current events. Now, in recent times, actual independent news have been under severe attack, while corporate and state-run media have been the big voices in the field. We have another case of this here where news is coming out about the United States is becoming more and more authoritarian by the day, not content, just censored independent media outlets. They've now been blocked on PayPal. Journalists who criticize U.S. imperialism are in danger of having their livelihoods taken from us. Now, this is to do with the PayPal has canceled Consortium News, and I didn't know about this news network myself. It wasn't one on the top of my list. It happens to be now. It is a news network that is an independent, so I had to look into it myself. We have here MediaBiasedFactChecker.com looked at this left of center bias they showed, mostly factual. And when you see left of center, this just means that it's just slightly left of center. This isn't far left, far right news at all by any means. But what has happened here is PayPal has restricted or just cut them off from one of their funding sources. The online payment system gave no warning or reason why Consortium News account has been permanently limited. PayPal indicated that only if applicable, the balance will be returned. PayPal has canceled Consortium News without any prior notice or due process and with virtually no explanation. The Consortium News is today launching a spring fund drive. It has lost one of its most important ways for its viewers and readers to show their support through donations. Clicking on the yellow PayPal donate button on our homepage now yields this message. And this is just a splash page. This organization is currently ineligible to receive donations. PayPal has sent an email to Consortium News that says, "You can't use PayPal anymore. We noticed activity on your account that is inconsistent with our user agreement, and we no longer offer you PayPal services. Because of potential risk exposure, we've permanently limited your account. You're no longer able to use the account for any transactions." The message says that any money in your PayPal balance will be held for up to 180 days, after which, if applicable, we'll email you with information on how to withdraw any remaining money. Consortium PayPal account page now shows similar message. Click to enlarge. Oh yeah, here. You can't use PayPal anymore, basically. There was no prior notice sent, nor was Consortium News afforded any due process. A PayPal customer service agent confirmed on telephone call Sunday that the back office gave no specific reason for permanently limiting Consortium News account other than that an investigation and review of Consortium News history found some potential risk associated with its account. So the the potential risk is not exactly specified by the back office. So we have some other users on Twitter chiming in on this. I really hope we are paying attention. Two of the most critical independent news voices in the U.S. have their PayPal accounts deactivated. First, Mint Press News, which is another one I'm not completely aware of, and now Consortium. Dark days ahead, especially now that Biden created his actual Ministry of Truth. So here, PayPal cancels Consortium News. May seize balance. There's another article out there. Max Blumenthal, he's a regular on the Jimmy Dore show, if you guys watch that. PayPal refuses to explain why it cut off services and seized money from Consortium News, Mint News Press, a few others, and others who have forcefully challenged the official NATO narrative on Ukraine. So I think we're getting a little somewhere on this and why it is that the PayPal is cutting this off. So Consortium News, you just look at their main page. You have many articles. Chris Hedges, who's a writer and columnist, I guess writes for them. Ukraine, the cost of war in Africa and Global South. Reader sounds off on PayPal's ban on Consortium News. So there's that. But I think the big one that is really the contentious item is they're suggesting that NATO's expansion into Ukraine, or trying to expand into Ukraine, is what led to a conflict with Russia. Now, people getting on social media to say, because Pope says that NATO may have caused the Russia invasion of Ukraine. The Pope just repeated what many courageous people have been saying for quite a while. Will he be deplatformed or shadow banned? Will the algorithms be weaponized? Will the Catholic Church be banned from PayPal? Is the question. But yes, they have readers that sound off. I'll leave links in the description to this down below. I think this is really important news to get out there and let people aware of, and let people know what's happening. Independent journalism is the lifeblood of journalism. Without independence, it's impossible to get the real news out there. Of course, showing Julian Assange here. Julian Assange, of course, being he's imprisoned at the moment for his involvements with WikiLeaks. He was a journalist who broke stories of atrocities that were taking place in Iraq and Afghanistan years ago. He broke stories about this, leaking information. He also leaked information about the Clintons that was not very welcoming, and probably led a lot of people to not wanting to vote for one of them in a previous election years ago. But yeah, he's again another perfect example of real journalism, and the establishment wanting to take that down. Now here, also breaking this morning, I believe this was, after a major public and media backlash, PayPal just notified me that Mint Press News can withdraw their funds from their account that they were holding, but it looks like the account is still banned. So PayPal will no longer be an option for a lot of these independent journalists as a funding model. They're going to have to go with other funding options, but it seems that this has been a trend, and not just recently. This has been a trend for several years. People who speak out against the popular narrative get their accounts shut down. I'm glad I don't have that as a model. That's why I didn't set it up that way myself. But hopefully I'll be able to maintain what I'm doing here on this platform for as long as I possibly can. But I'll just keep bringing this news to you guys. But yeah, this is important stuff. So share this out. Let people know about it. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Keep on trucking.